in the rain, and by all accounts, he seemed to be on point today. Now, there always seems to be a lot of hype and build-up around USC quarterbacks come draft time. In fact, 18 Trojan quarterbacks have been drafted since the Common Draft era began in 1967, the most by any school over that span. Of those 18 quarterbacks USC has selected, only one went to multiple Pro Bowls. That would be Carson Palmer, who was drafted #1 overall in 2003 after he was the Heisman winner in 2002. And they've struggled to find success in the playoffs. Mark Sanchez's 4 playoff wins are the most of any USC quarterback drafted in the Common Draft era. All 17 others have a combined 4-11 record as starters in the postseason. After the workout, Sam Darnold joined our crew on site, led by Jeff Darlington. Jeff, take it away.
Guys, we're live right now with Sam Darnold, who just came over here under the tent, finally getting a little bit dry. And the first thing he said to us was, that was fun.
That was really fun.
So, Sam, let's start with that. What do you think you were able to accomplish, especially in these conditions?
Yeah, it was, honestly, it was just throwing. It was throwing with my guys for one last time. So it was awesome out here. It was cool to be able to get some balls, you know, and when it wasn't raining, and then it rained, I think, at the perfect time. So when I started to get a little warm, and it was really fun to be able to throw with my guys one last time, like I said, and have a good time.
How did it go? I mean, you obviously, with Jordan Palmer, you spent a lot of time working on different things. And I know the base and mechanics and all that. According to what you wanted to accomplish here today, how did you think it went?
I thought it went really well, to be honest with you. You know, I think working on those things really showed today. Working on those things in the offseason with Jordan, and also with Ryan Flaherty, working on my hip mobility, being able to use my hips more when I throw. It was awesome to just be able to come out here and use those tools, what I've been working on, and be able to use it and have fun and rip it today.
Having the opportunity to possibly be the #1 pick overall, as you continue to evolve in this situation, even today and all the scouts around, in the back of your mind at all, given the recent history of USC quarterbacks going on to the National Football League, we've gotten a knock at that position. Do you feel any uncertainty of being the #1 overall pick based on those sort of things?
No, it's a different situation. I'm just going to be myself, whatever organization I go to. I'm going to be myself and lead in the way that I lead, play the way I play, and if it works, it works, and I think it will. I really believe it will, and I'm excited to be a part of a team again, because it's been a long time, you know, studying my own tape, and which is good. It's good to be able to be your worst critic, but it's been really fun. But at the same time, I want to get with a team and start throwing with some more guys.
Sam, speaking of teams, Hugh Jackson was out here, the Jets brass was out here. What teams have you maybe had the most contact with and kind of gotten a vibe for?
Yeah, so I've had meetings and dinners the past couple days. 2 days ago, I met with the Giants, had a meeting and a dinner, and then I met with the Browns last night. So it's been really fun. Those are the only 2 teams that I've had really like official meetings with and dinners with. So, but it's been really fun.
Do you? Obviously, the money is better if you're picked first than if you're picked second. Yeah. So but is it the competitor in you? Do you want to be the first pick?
I want to be picked by the team that wants me. You know, it'd be awesome to go #1, just because I think what the Browns are doing is really good right now. I think they have potential to be a really good team in the future. So just based on that, yeah, a part of me really wants to go 1. But at the same time, if they don't want me, they don't pick me, that's the best situation, because, you know, I don't want to go to a team that doesn't want me.
Do you feel like maybe, at quarterback especially, do you feel like maybe you go to a situation where you sit and you wait a little bit, where there's a veteran quarterback that you can learn the NFL game from, and let's say maybe your second or third year, Aaron Rodgers, like, take over the controls and lead a team down the field to a victory?
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely different ways of doing it. You can go in as a rookie and play really well, and then you can also sit for a couple of years, which is what I did here. I sat for a year under Cody Kessler when he was balling out here, and I thought that was the best thing for me, just because I got to learn the playbook, you know, in depth, and then I was able to get my reps on the practice field, and I think that really showed my redshirt freshman year when I came out and did what I did. So, you know, there's 2 ways of looking at it, but I think either way I'll be successful.
Will you have more workouts individually with individual teams moving forward, or is this it?
I'm not sure yet. I think we're going to figure that out in the future. maybe probably right after I get done with this interview. So we'll figure it out.
Sam, I don't want to just gloss over the fact that you mentioned the Giants and having dinner with them, and I don't know that many people have really thought of them at that number 2 spot as the team that could go after a quarterback. Do you get a sense that you're still in play there?
I mean, you know, I'm going to dinner. I'm going to these meetings.
They invite you. You gotta go,
exactly.
Right?
Yeah, I'm trying to impress them and doing what I can, but I don't know what their plan is. You know, it seemed like they were very intrigued when we were having dinner and all that, but you know, to be honest, I don't know.
Good restaurants.
Good restaurants,
yeah.
Yeah. Downtown LA.
That's all that really matters.
Yeah, yep.
Well, Sam Darnold here with us, Susie. Let's go back to you in the studio.
John, good to hear from Darnold. Obviously, he's very pleased as we welcome you to the Verizon Film Room. There have been plenty of dinners. There's plenty of chat. Do you think he is a legitimate number 1 overall draft pick?
Yeah, I do, by virtue of the fact that the Browns have to take a quarterback.
Yeah.
I mean, it's funny because when we look at this, like the overall ranking here of the players, I don't think he's going to be number 1 overall when you align him vertically and like align the top 100 prospects. He's not going to be number 1 on most people's board.
Right.
But he's going to get elevated because the circumstances dictate, look, we have to take him. We have to take a quarterback. We passed on so many. And although that doesn't seem like a very natural way to do things, they're going to do it that way. And he's one of the guys who right now is probably the one who people believe has the highest upside, and maybe he does. So, I mean, if we're looking at it, you pencil him in there. Now it gets interesting from there because what did they just say? He just said, I had a dinner with the Giants.
The Giants.
And I went,
and the Browns.
Oh, that's interesting. So what does that have? What does that mean for the number 2 slot? The number 2 slot is all of a sudden where I thought, okay, I kind of know where this is going, which is where I would think that that's going to go. I'm not so sure if that's the way it goes anymore.
Right. Again,
I'm not so sure anymore. So it's
I think
the number 2
who
knows if they're even there.
Right, and the number 2 spot gets interesting because you know why the New York Jets moved up. They're going to want a quarterback. And that also puts pressure on the Browns because then you think to yourself, does somebody pull a Mitchell Trubisky and get the number 2 spot if we go with the best overall player, who is Saquon Barkley? And so this thing is it's a chess match. And I think after the Browns make that pick, we'll see other pieces fall into place that may surprise us.
You had a little twinkle in your eye when I said that. So what were you thinking right there about the 2? When I said, do they go here? And you were like,
You
know
what's funny, Lou? We've known each other long enough to know that you can look in my eye and know what I'm thinking. And all of his twinkles are backed by information. They're never guesses.
They're not finished moving around.
Right.
You agree?
there you go.
There is
Exactly.
more movement to come.
I think that is entirely possible. We know of other teams that want to get up here. And, again, Sam Darnold said the Giants had dinner with him on Tuesday night, Monday night. So let's just advance this forward. There's been some chatter that the Giants might like Sam Darnold. What if the Cleveland Browns liked, hypothetically, Sam Darnold and Josh Allen and Sam Rosen equally, and they said to the New York Giants, we're going to take Sam Darnold, 1, unless you want to give us a second-round pick or a first-round pick, and we'll swap spots with you. I'm just throwing this out there.
no, you're not.
Yeah, I am. I just told you. Every twinkle is backed by information.
My birth date is March 21st, 2018.
I'm just saying, all of a sudden, there could be some jockey. What if the Jets want to come back up even higher to lock in a guy that they wanted?
And, of course, Buffalo, where are they
And
at?
Buffalo and Arizona.
Down here.
And I think that's the big thing about this draft and what's confusing and actually exciting about it. You don't know who people want. There's not that guy. There's not that guy that scouts are saying is the next John Elway or is the next Dan Marino. We're still trying to figure these things out.
And
let me say this. We are 36 days away. 36 days out of last year's draft. Did anybody concoct a scenario in which the Bears were trading up for a quarterback, the Chiefs were trading up for a quarterback, and the Texans were trading up for a quarterback? 36 seconds before the draft.
I was going to say, hey, the Bears did it on the clock.
No.
36 seconds.
And so to think that we're done seeing movement, I think, would be a bit naive. But, again, I agree with you on Sam Darnold at 1. I think that right now is the way it shapes up, and we'll see how it shakes out.
Before we go, let's put Baker Mayfield in this mix, too. Sam Darnold mentions dinner and workouts with 2 teams. Where has
Well, as
Baker
Chris Morrison
Mayfield
said today, the Miami Dolphins are putting Baker Mayfield through a private workout today. And, again, you can't read too much into a private workout other than the team, obviously, has some interest. And so the Miami Dolphins are drafting, I believe, number 11 this year, if I'm not mistaken. Let's go through there, Lou, and find the Miami 11. Number 11. They are in a position, that's a perfect team, where we've seen teams go up from right in that range. I believe when the Rams trade up, they were in the middle of the first round, and they came up to number 1. The Eagles started at 13, went to 8, and finished at 2. So there's no reason if the Dolphins, as aggressive as they are, and we know that they are aggressive, couldn't make a move up. The Bills at 12 could make a move
Cardinals.
up. Yeah, I mean, listen.
I see what you're doing here, Susie. Build the suspense.
But it's real. It's real.
Huh?
It's real.
But I mean, that is what makes it interesting here. I mean, because if Sam Darnold does go off the board number 1 overall, I mean, does that mean that somebody like?
Hey, let me say this. Hey, Lou,
go there.
Lou, from the moment that
Right,
happened,
exactly. But
then what happens here? Does Baker Mayfield
Lou,
go there?
Lou.
Then does my man go here? Who's actually the best player in the draft? You just get picked.
Lou, I'm
forward.
just telling you this right now. From the moment the Jets moved up in this draft, the Bills started it and went to number 12 by trading Cordy Glenn to Cincinnati for that spot at number 12. The Jets continued it going to number 3. And it was just obvious to anybody at that time that there's a real chance, if not a probability, that the first 3 players picked in this draft are going to be quarterbacks. Now, I know people keep saying the Giants can't pass up Saquon Barkley. They can't do that.
Hold on, I've been saying that.
Okay? I think they can.
Well, I think they can too.
Well, they can. I mean, if you look at this draft, some of the, to me, the best players, the Saquon Barkleys, and some of these guys are going to get passed on because of position. Lou spoke to it earlier about how badly these teams need quarterbacks.
It's going to
happen last year.
Artificially alter the ranking.
Well, and by the way, if I could just show you this, if quarterbacks go 1, 2, 3, like you put them out in whatever order, okay, Cleveland's sitting there. Oh, we're thrilled to get Saquon Barkley. The Broncos are sitting there. We could take Bradley Chubb or Quentin Nelson.
Right.
Right. The top
Colts could
pass
take
rusher in
whoever
the
they-
draft is still there.
So all of a sudden, the Broncos
are really excited.
Exactly.
These
It's
things
really,
get really exciting.
funny that, you know, because of how the dynamics work, we
didn't
have
even talk
guys
about
like these guys.
Yeah.
We're going to be better players. They're just going to be better
Bradley
pros.
Chubb,
I'm telling you.
Alabama safety.
They're going to be better pros.
Patrick could be
Yes.
one of the top players in the entire draft, still sitting
But,
there.
but they're going to slide down a notch or two
You're right.
just because
You're
of
right.
the value of quarterbacks. It happens every year. It's going to happen again this year.
I think it also happens with these guys because they're all lumped together. There's no guy sitting on the top of the mountain that these other guys are chasing. It's going to be,
I think there's
how do you see them?
And
how
there's,
you like
there's some unique situations here with Cleveland and with the Jets in particular. Like, they have no choice.
Right.
You just have to do it. Whether or not they were ranked 10th overall on your board or 15th on your board, and you had 14 guys ahead of these quarterbacks, they've got to take one.
This is fun.
It
You
is
just
fun.
sit here with this board.
36 more days of it, Susie.
I'm glad you guys let me rest today.
This is fun. Lots of intrigue to this year's draft. Ahead here on NFL Live, the offseason has been filled with transactions, big free agent signings. Which newly signed player was the smartest addition?
Case fires. Caught! Touchdown! What a beautiful pass by Kirk Cousins. Alex takes the snap. Got it. Post. Touchdown! Alex Smith.
Film Room is brought to you by Verizon, the most awarded network ever.